Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Circle Time. I'm Miss Emily, as usual. I know I look a little bit different today. I forgot my camera holder today. Can you believe it? So I'm trying to make do. So you guys will have to forgive me today. Some of my angles might be a little bit weird, but I still have some really fun stuff planned. I've got some books, as always. I have a rhyme that we're going to do, and then as always I have a craft that we're going to do. So we're going to hang for just a second, give everybody a chance to get logged in and get here. But good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a good morning. It is a sunny day. It is much cooler outside today. I'm really enjoying the cooler weather. I have been ready for fall for a long time. I'm not a summer person. So hopefully you guys will get a chance to get out and enjoy some of the weather today. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to hang for one more second or two, give a couple more people a chance to get here. Don't forget, if you're watching this live, I can see the comments. So if you want to throw a comment up there, say hi, tell me who's watching. If you have something to tell me that's really important, or even if it's not important and you just want to tell me, that's cool too. I will try to keep an eye on that and respond. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And today is a little bit of a special day, and you guys will see that all of my things today are around this theme. So today is International Dot Day. Do you guys like dots and spots and things like that? Polka dots? So International Dot Day comes from this book called The Dot by Peter Reynolds. So we're going to start off with this book to find out why dots are important and why we want to celebrate Dot Day, what that might mean. Okay, so let's get started. So this is The Dot by Peter Reynolds. So art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Oh, hi, Pearl. How are you? And Olivia. Hello, girls. Ladies, how are you guys today? I see that you're here. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. There! Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, Now sign it. Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. The next week, when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot that she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. Look how fancy that dot picture is. Humph, I can make a better dot than that. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A yellow dot, a green dot, a red dot, a blue dot. She mixed blue with the red. She discovered that she could make a purple dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. Can you guys see? She painted all around and the blank space became the dot. That's really awesome. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. Look how many dots she painted, and it's all up for people to see at the art show. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? No, not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank piece of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle, and then she said, so there she is looking at his squiggle, "Please sign it." The end. So what do you think that story was kind of trying to tell you? That even if you think you can't draw, even if you make just the littlest thing, it can turn into art. And you shouldn't doubt yourself. You should always try. And if you don't know what to draw, start with a dot and see where it takes you, okay? So let's go ahead and read another story. So I have some other stories that talks about spots and dots. So this book is called The Spotty Pig. So The Spotty Pig, picture by Dick King Smith and pictures by Mary Warbell. "How ugly spots are," said Peter, the spotty piglet, to his friend, a cat called Joe. All through the summer, Peter lay in the sun. "If my spots fade," he thought, "no one will notice them." At the end of summer, he asked Joe, "Can you still see my spots?" "Sure," said Joe. "You've grown a little bigger, so they've grown a little bigger too." "Oh, brush my bristles," said Peter. All through the autumn, Peter rolled in the fallen leaves. "If I'm really dirty," he thought, "no one will notice my spots." At the end of the autumn, he asked Joe, "Can you still see my spots?" "You betcha," said Joe. "You've grown quite a lot bigger, so they've grown quite a lot bigger too." "Oh, twirl my tail," cried Peter. All through the winter, Peter played in the snow. "Perhaps I can freeze my spots," he thought, "and then they'll all turn white and no one will notice them." At the end of the winter, he asked Joe, "Have my spots gone?" "You must be joking," said Joe. "You've grown much bigger, so your spots have grown much bigger too." "Oh, shiver my shanks," cried Peter. All through the spring, Peter stood in the rain. "Perhaps I can wash off my spots," he thought, "and then no one will ever see them again." At the end of the spring, he asked Joe, "Now have my spots gone?" "Listen, Sonny," said the cat, "you are now a very large pig, and you are covered in very large spots." "Oh no," shouted Peter, "snuffle my snout and tweak my trotters. I shall never get rid of my spots." "I hope you don't," came a voice from behind him. "They suit you." Peter spun around to see a beautiful young pig. She too was covered in spots. "Oh," thought Peter, "perhaps spots aren't so bad after all." "My name," said the young pig, "is Penny. How do you do?" "Oh, very well, thank you," said Peter joyfully. "You've taken a weight off of his mind," purred Joe. From then on, Peter and Penny spent their days together, doing all the things that pigs do. They rootled in the ground together and waddled in the mud together, and Peter never gave a thought to spots. Until the day that Penny gave birth to 13 piglets. Oh my goodness, look how many piglets. "Well, bless my piggy eyes," called Peter to his friend Joe. "Just look at all these babies." "Spotted something about them, have you?" said Joe. "Yes," said Peter. how beautiful spots are. And then there's everybody at the end all curled up taking a nap. So Peter thought his spots were ugly, and then he learned that his spots were partly part of what made him him, and they made him beautiful. So let's do a little rhyme. Let's see, there's my stuff. I am all over the place today, guys. So I have a picture here. This is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do, but I think you guys are going to like it. So do you guys know what this is? Can you recognize it? Because there's something missing from this picture. So here's a ladybug. Did you guys guess that it was a ladybug? I'm sure you did. Good job. But what does a ladybug have that this ladybug doesn't have? This ladybug is missing her spots. So we're going to sing a song and we're going to give the ladybug back her spots. Okay? So I'm going to do this. Oh no, I'm stuck. Help. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put one spot on the ladybug and say, ladybug has one black spot, one black spot, one black spot. Ladybug has one black spot, pretty ladybug. And then I'm going to go and I have another spot. So now we can sing, ladybug has two black spots, two black spots, two black spots. Ladybug has two black spots, pretty ladybug. And let's see. Oh, this is a big one. So there's another one. So now how many spots are there? There's 1, 2, 3. So now we can sing, ladybug has 3 black spots, 3 black spots, 3 black spots. Ladybug has 3 black spots, pretty ladybug. And guess what? I have another spot. So now how many? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we can sing, ladybug has 4 black spots, 4 black spots, 4 black spots. Ladybug has 4 black spots, pretty ladybug. And guess what? I've got one more. So now how many spots are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we can sing, ladybug has 5 black spots, 5 black spots, 5 black spots. Ladybug has 5 black spots, pretty ladybug. What do you guys think? Does she look like a ladybug again now that we gave her spots back? I think so. I think she looks very pretty. Good job, guys. All right. So I'm going to do one more story and then we're going to get to our craft today. So this story is called Spots in a Box. So, Spots in a Box by Helen Ward. There once was a guinea fowl without any spots. Can you guys see? All of these guys have spots, but she doesn't have any. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a him. There once was a guinea fowl without any spots, which made him feel odd because the others had lots. So she wrote a short letter and, So he wrote a short letter and sent it away. He asked for some spots. They arrived the next day. What? I didn't know spots came in a box. In a promising package tied up with string, which he hoped would be full of just the right thing. But instead of the right kind, these spots were all wrong. A big disappointment, too tall and too long. Soon more spots arrived. Too sneezy, too small. Can you guys see? There's a bunch of teeny tiny little spots all over the place, but they're too small. Then spots that turned out to be no spots at all. So it looks like there's spots, but there's not. Spots that lit up, useful only at night. and some that were simply too sparkly and too bright. You guys see? Now this time she got shiny spots. Or he got shiny spots. I'm sorry. Connect the dot spots. Oh my goodness. Do you guys like connecting the dots? And splats, drips, and blots. Nope, those spots won't work either. They're very artistic though. Inky fat dots and eye topping spots. Oh my goodness, so many different types of spots. Spots meant for all sorts of other things spotted. So let's see, she found spots for, let me try it this way. A ladybug, which we just did. A leopard has spots. Freckles, any of you who have freckles, you have spots. And moles. If you don't have freckles, some of you might have moles. I know Miss Emily has one or two. It's kind of like having spots on you. Then a box of knot spots that got him quite knotted. Those are definitely knot spots. They look like ribbons and lines and squiggles. And just when he thought there were no more surprises, that he'd seen spots and dots in all colors and sizes, came spots that were wrong in the right sort of way. He decided to wear them the very next day. So can you guys see what's special? It's a little bit hard to see with the light. What might be special about those spots? Can you guys see? They're actually all different color spots, but they look like they're just the right size. So the best spots to choose, if it's friends that you seek, are the spots that you find put a smile on your beak. So there he is back with his friends, and look at his spots. They are so colorful, and I don't think you guys can tell, but they actually sparkle a little too. So the best spots were the spots that made him happy. And the other guinea fowl started playing with all of the other spots, and even some squiggles. Oh my goodness. Silly guinea fowl. So you guys can see that spots can be all kinds of art and all kinds of wonderful things. So speaking of art, I'm going to do a neat craft today that you guys can do on your own with your grown-ups' help. We'll put that aside, and you guys will be able to make some of your own spots. This is a spot that I made. So we're going to make a tool to make this type of spot. So give me just 1 second. Let me switch my camera around and see if I can do this. I think I have to do it this way. Oops. Uh-oh. That's not going to work. Oh no. All right. You know, Miss Emily, it was so silly today that she forgot her usual camera holder. All right, we're gonna do it. Let's see if I can do it this way. I'm sorry, guys. All right, actually, nope. Trying to get it to stay just a little bit. I'm really sorry about this, guys. Miss Emily was not thinking this morning. I need you to be able to see the table and see what I'm doing. Will that stay? Yay! Okay, that'll work. So it's a little bit of a different angle. But the tool that we're going to make to make our spots looks like this. And this looks like one big spot, doesn't it? But I'm going to show you guys how to make this, and then we're going to use this tool to print our spots on paper. So to do this, you're going to need some Q-tips, or probably just one, depending on how many different colors and how many different spots you want to make. So some Q-tips, some masking tape works best. That's the kind of tape I was using. If you have a paper plate, that would work. Or this is actually like a styrofoam plate. You want something that's going to be a little bit stiffer to help hold the shape of your stamper. So I'm using a styrofoam plate. If you guys have like cardboard, you can trace a circle and cut out a circle. If you have some kind of other really stiff paper, that will work as well. So something that you can make a circle out of, some scissors, And I have some paint. So you guys are definitely going to have your grown-ups help and permission with this project since it's paint and it could get a little bit messy. So I'm using orange paint and yellow paint. You guys can use any kind of colors you want. Just remember, if you put a whole bunch of colors on one stamp, all your colors are going to blend together a whole lot, and then you may not be able to quite see all of the colors. So you maybe only want to do like 2, maybe 3 colors at a time. Oh, and one more thing that you need that I almost forgot, some aluminum foil. Your grown-ups hopefully should have some of that in the kitchen. So I don't want a spot this big, so I'm going to real quick cut out the plate to make a smaller spot. And as always, guys, make sure you have your grown-ups help and permission to use the scissors. And you only want to cut the plate. That's it, nothing else. All right. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but there's my spot. I got a spot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my aluminum foil, and your grown-ups can help you with this because there is a sharp edge on the foil. They can help cut it for you. And it doesn't matter if you do shiny side up or shiny side down, but I'm going to lay my foil down on the table, and I'm going to put my spot down, and I'm going to fold the foil around my spot. I know it's hard for you guys to see, I'll show you. So I just folded the top and the bottom up around my spot, and now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to do that again. So I folded from the bottom up and the top down. So now for a minute my spot looks a little square, but what I can do is I can go around and I can fold the corners and all the other pieces down because I can feel where my spot is. So I'm going to fold everything down to make my spot, and one more corner, and there we go. So now I have a nice tin foil spot, and you want to try to make sure that the front of the spot is as smooth as you can because this is where we're going to be doing the artwork. So now I'm going to put my spot upside down so I have all my folds on the back, and it might be helpful if you take a small piece of masking tape and just kind of put one across the top and one across the bottom, just to help make sure everything stays put down on the back. I mean, foil's pretty good about staying, but just in case you want to, you can do that to make sure it really stays. Then you're going to take a little bit of a bigger piece of masking tape, and we're going to make a handle. So you're going to fold the masking tape. Let's see if you guys can, there we go. Fold the masking tape in half and start like sticking it to itself. And we're going to let it stick most of the way down, but we want to keep 2 sticky pieces out, because then I'm going to take those 2 sticky pieces and put them on the back of the plate. So now you see how I have this piece sticking up? That becomes my handle. I can hold my spot with my handle. Okay, so now we're done making our spot. So I have some big pieces of paper here. That's something I forgot to mention. Make sure that when you cut out your spot, that it's going to fit on your piece of paper. I have really big pieces of paper here, so I could probably do more than one if I wanted. So now that I have my spot, we're going to paint on the front part of the spot. So here's where you have to be really careful. If you have a paint smock, probably, or some old clothes that you don't mind getting dirty, it's probably this is a good craft to wear them for. But I'm just going to start to paint, and you don't need a lot of paint. You want to keep it kind of thin. I'm going to paint half of my spot orange. You guys can kind of see I didn't put a ton of paint on there, but I'm going to put some paint, just a smidge more. There we go. All right, so now I've got it about halfway painted orange, and now I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to do the other side yellow, And what I'm actually going to do in the middle, or once I get it all painted yellow, I can actually, if I want, I can take a brush and I can kind of swirl my colors together. I can go here and I can kind of mix them together. So you guys can do whatever you like to make some interesting paint colors. I think I'm going to go like that and kind of mix them. I think that looks pretty cool. So now that I have my paint, now you have to kind of work a little bit quickly because you don't want the paint to dry all the way. Now I'm going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to draw in the paint on my stamper here. So I'm going to make a line around, and if you guys can see, everywhere I do the Q-tip, the paint comes off. So I'm going to make, you guys can make whatever designs you want. You can make a design that repeats all the way around. This one kind of looks like a pizza. Apparently I still have pizza on the brain from last week. I'm going to make some spots in there. I'm going to add more spots to my spot. And maybe I'll do another one there. All right, so now that I have my spot all decorated, I'm going to real quick take it and put it face down on my piece of paper. I'm going to give it a good press. And then from the handle, you guys can see my handle here. If I lift straight up and hold the paper down, and then look at my paper, the spot that I made on my stamp is now on my paper. So if you guys want, you can do it again. Let's see if I have enough paint in here. I only got a little paint because I didn't want to make a huge mess. But you guys can do that again. You can put more paint on. Let's see if I can do this. Oops. Put some more paint, kind of swirl it. I like some swirls and some. And then you guys can, let's see, maybe I can make a flower this time. So if you guys can see. And that, so I made a flower. I'll put some more spots on. Just because we're all about the spots today. And if you find that your Q-tip isn't working, you can just flip it over. And that'll work a little bit better. So there's my flower. I'm going to give it a press, lift up, and there we go. Now I have another spot. So you guys can play around with making all kinds of spots for yourself. Take your spot and see what you can make with it. Maybe you make a spot and then make some kind of other art project out of it. Or you just make all kinds of really different color spots and really fun things like that. So here we go. I'll hold that up again. Just so here's my spot that kind of looks like a pizza or maybe like a slice of orange now. And then here's my spot with a flower. So look at this art that I made. And I'm not very good at art, but here's my art that I made for Dot Day. So if you guys decide to make some spots, I would love to see them, post them in the comments. Since it is Dot Day, International Dot Day, I actually, once this video posts, I will put some other resources in the comments for you guys because there are some fun activities you guys can do today. There is a frame that you can print out and draw your very own spot, just like Vashti's spot. Remember? Her spot got framed in a really fancy frame. I'm going to put a printout of the frame so you can draw a spot in the really fancy frame. And there's also going to be a link where you can draw a spot and then using, I believe you have to use your grown-up cell phone, so have your grown-ups help with that. But you can draw a spot and then using the pictures, it'll make it 3D and it looks really awesome. Unfortunately, I can't show that to you through the camera today, but I'm going to put all those links and resources in the comments. So if you want to keep celebrating International Dot Day, everything will be right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. I'm sorry about the camera. I will have that fixed for next time. But thank you guys so much. Olivia, Pearl, if you guys are still here, thank you guys for, for tuning in. That's it. That's all I got. So have a good day, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you all again soon.